Are you guys tired of experiencing historic, unprecedented weather events? Is it just me, or is that getting like super old? In this video, we're going to be talking about whether or not we could see any more of those in the near future as we look at the extended weather forecast. But first, we have to talk about the heartbreaking situation surrounding all of this historic flooding we've seen over the past week. If you remember in my last video, we talked about the devastating flooding in the St. Louis region, and I talked about my concern for more areas being impacted in the future. Well, later that night in my neck of the woods, another major rainfall event occurred. In less than 12 hours, almost 10 inches of rain fell in the mountainous terrain of eastern Kentucky. And for those of you who don't know, because of the way mountains funnel water into valleys, that's like 20 to 25 inches of rain anywhere else. Due to this, widespread catastrophic flooding took place between 12 a.m. and 12 p.m. on the 28th. These floods were so powerful, they destroyed 75% of all the roads in Perry County, Kentucky, and tens of thousands of people had to deal with all of this without power because the water wiped out infrastructure. The National Weather Service in Jackson, Kentucky issued a flash flood emergency at 2:30 a.m., which likely saved countless lives. However, as of now, there are 25 people confirmed dead and dozens are still missing. President Joe Biden declared a major disaster, and the National Guard, along with several other organizations, are on their way to help. But the people here are in desperate need of supplies more than I think anyone realizes. Y'all, I was there, along with storm chasers Brandon Coppock and Vince Welty, while this was happening. I can't and probably shouldn't share with you everything we heard and saw that night, but it was bad. Countless people lost literally everything. Entire families fought to survive inside of their homes while being washed away by raging floodwaters, with no one around to help because the local authorities were so overwhelmed. Family members and neighbors were frantically trying to reach their loved ones that lived in inaccessible areas, but due to the lack of cell phone service, that was also impossible. Because emergency officials in the area were so overwhelmed and there were so many incidents ongoing, Vince, Brandon, and I actually had to kind of take it upon ourselves to rescue some people who were trapped in a community we came across called 10 Mile Creek Road. I've got a video on my extra channel that has the whole story here, but basically Vince and Brandon had to hike up an entire mountain to reach people that had been swept away and trapped by these floods. As I worked with some really brave neighbors and family members to help guide them through the forests, they were able to help people out of dangerous situations and relay names to the families waiting at the mouth of the holler, letting them know that each and every single one of the residents on 10 Mile Creek Road was accounted for. After being awake for 36 hours and dealing with all this, we slept for a few and got right back to it. We gathered up some friends and family members and went to the local Walmart in my hometown and just started filling up carts with water because people desperately needed it. We got about 2,000 bottles to be exact. Then we went back in and we got Gatorade, Powerade, and some other stuff, also about 2,000 bottles of this, and we said, you know what, let's go back in for round 3, and we got tons of cleaning supplies and other everyday necessities we thought people would need. And then finally, we could have been done at this point, but we went back in one more time and we got a load of shoes, clothes, underwear, diapers, and pretty much anything you could think of, and filled our vehicles to the brim. We then pointed ourselves back to where we started, near Hazard, Kentucky, and unloaded the several $1,000s worth of supplies at a flea market. One tweet later, a swarm of people showed up and everything was gone in under 10 minutes. The people who were taking this stuff were still covered in mud and had torn clothing, and they were being so polite, literally asking if they could take more than one thing. I believe this was worse than a tornado. This was a multi-county, widespread mass casualty event where tens of thousands of already poverty-stricken individuals were surprised by a literal wall of water tearing through their community. And I'm so thankful that I could help by getting those supplies to people, but the only reason I'm able to do that is because your all support on shopryanhall.com. And for the next 48 hours, 100% of the profits on shopryanhall.com are going to go towards the Y'all Fund, and we're going to go back down there Monday with as much water, cleaning supplies, and other necessities as we possibly can. You can help us do this on shopryanhall.com. We got awesome stuff. We've got hats, shirts, coffee mugs. We even have a locally made coffee brand that you're gonna love if you like coffee. But let's say you don't want coffee, okay? You don't want a shirt. I get it, okay? We've done something. On the main homepage of the site, you can buy a sticker. We're calling it the Flood Relief Sticker. You can pick your price on this thing, $10, $25, $50, $100, $250, $500, and 100% of the profit will go towards the Y'all Fund. The stickers are only gonna cost a couple dollars to produce and ship, so this is basically a direct way to help. And if for some reason we have any funds left over at all when this is all said and done, any and all leftover money will be kept in that fund for the next one. There's gonna be a next hurricane, y'all. There's gonna be a next tornado, flood, whatever it is, and we are going to be there because we're the Y'all Squad, and the Y'all Squad shows up. Okay, what about the future weather, Ryan? Is anything else crazy going to happen? Well, the next 3 days look fairly tame according to the Storm Prediction Center, with only marginal risks of severe weather, but the coverage is pretty widespread. These storms will have some heavy rain associated with them, as seen highlighted by the Weather Prediction Center's excessive rainfall outlooks. So let's take a closer look at these storms on the simulated radar all the way out through the next 48 hours or so. As you can see, by 1 p.m. today, we're going to have some showers and thunderstorms from Oklahoma into southern Missouri, northern Arkansas, even into West Tennessee. But let's see how long it lasts as we go into 8 p.m. tonight. A lot of this really fizzles out. We're not seeing a prolonged rain event here. However, we are getting some new convection down here in the southeast. These are going to be isolated showers and thunderstorms that could bring some small hail and some isolated flash flooding. But look, our monsoon is still raging over here in the Four Corners region, as we are going to see even more flash flooding today, maybe even a little bit further west, like we saw yesterday in Las Vegas. We had some flash flooding over there. We're seeing an anomalous rainfall event, and that's going to continue to be the case, maybe even into southern portions of California. So if you live in this area, especially in a flood-prone zone, you want to take this seriously and be weather aware today. Some big thunder boomers are also possible up here in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and North Dakota. Big hail is going to be the main threat with these, maybe some damaging winds as well, but we're really not looking at any widespread major severe weather makers in the near future. The main thing that I'm concerned about is this area right here, still along that stationary boundary. It's just not moving, and this is going to cause rain to go over the same areas over and over again. Thankfully, eastern Kentucky and the St. Louis region seem to be spared for the next 24 hours or so, but if this boundary wanders up or down any bit at all, either one of those areas could take on more rain and see more significant flooding. As we go into Sunday, we're seeing a lot of the same, some scattered showers in the southeast, big storms up here in Minnesota, and some more rain in Nevada and California. And as we go a little bit further into the future, late in the day on Sunday, you can see that low pressure system and a cold front coming out of Canada. This might be the one. This might be the one system that actually knocks this stationary boundary out of whack, and we finally get a break from the rain in this area that's been ravaged by flooding. But we'll have to see what happens with that, because this could also just get caught up in the boundary and add more fuel to the fire. But in the very near future, thankfully, no major historic events are on my radar. But we can look a little bit further into the future on the Euro model and see what else Mother Nature has in store for us. 2 p.m. on Monday, we still have moisture over here in Tennessee, over into the Appalachians. These are going to be isolated thunderstorms that could cause flash flooding. And look, we got a little tropical system in the Pacific just to the southwest of the Baja region that could potentially throw up even more moisture into Southern California, causing more problems over there. Let's keep it going even further into the future. We're going to see the return of high heat here in the central U.S. Around August 2nd, we got another big ridge over here. The monsoonal moisture is still pouring into the Four Corners region, even making it as far north as Montana now. And then watch as I pull this forward, somewhat of a ridge tries to build over into the southeastern U.S., which is pretty good news, because this could lead to some widespread drier conditions. But because the gates to the Gulf of Mexico are going to be open here, isolated showers and thunderstorms and daytime popcorn convection are going to be possible, meaning that we could still be dealing with some isolated flash flooding here and there, but no big severe weather makers anywhere in the near future. And of course, we got to take a look at the tropics. This is in the Pacific. We have Hurricane Frank. The Pacific has been popping off, which is really not what's supposed to be happening in a triple dip La Nina year. But anyways, we got Hurricane Frank here, which looks beautiful on satellite. It's not currently impacting anyone directly, other than the moisture that it's sending up into the southwestern U.S. and into western portions of Mexico. But this is going to strengthen. It's going to intensify and become a Category 3 by tomorrow around 2 a.m. with 140 mile an hour wind gusts, 115 mile an hour sustained winds, and then after that, it's likely going to weaken as it goes off to the north and west. Once again, so much action in the Pacific this year, but nothing in the Atlantic. National Hurricane Center says nothing is expected over the next 5 days, which is obviously very good news, but it would actually be quite the anomalous event for this to continue to happen because of all the parameters we have in place for this to be a big hurricane season. GFS currently shows nothing in the near future or the mid-range or even the long range. We continue to see waves come off of Africa, but they are being pummeled by African dust that's keeping the convection to a minimum once it gets over water. Here's a look at that dust as it comes off of the African continent over the main development region. As we go later into August, this is going to calm down a little bit. And, you know, this is not abnormal. We see dust every year, and it usually does calm down in August. But this is just a little bit more dust than usual, so that's why we've seen a suppression of our tropical activity out here. But that dust is unfortunately going away. And I'm sure you guys are tired of looking at this map, but these are the sea surface temperatures right now. The Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean, everything around the southeastern U.S. is bathwater right now. And if a storm is able to get in there, it is going to blow up. I promise you this. I'm not trying to scare you. I am giving you my honest opinion on what's going on here. This is a powder keg. And as you can see, a lot of the main development region is warming up as well. So if we can get a storm forming, it is going to do something, all right? Now, hopefully we don't. Hopefully things keep working in our favor and we don't see the real potential of the season unfold. But if it does, you know, we're going to be here tracking it for you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, guys. If I've ever asked you to do anything, hit that subscribe button. You're not going to regret it, I promise you. Huge shout out to all of our members over here. Thank you guys so much for being a part of the channel. Guys, I am sorry I spent the majority of this video recapping, okay? This is a weather forecast video, and I'm going to do another video tomorrow getting more in depth on the actual forecast, okay? I just had to talk. I had to unpack about what I experienced out there in my hometown with this historic flooding event, okay? So if you want to help, if you want to do something, obviously there's multiple avenues to achieve that. But if you want to see your contribution at work, you know that I'm going to be posting on Twitter. You know I'm going to be making more videos about this. Go to shopryanhall.com, make a contribution, get you a bag of coffee, get you one of those stickers, do something, and we will put that to good use, okay? Thank you guys for being a part of this, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to be able to help, be able to be there for those people. I mean, it still blows my mind that this is my job. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.